Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It is that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for your favorite podcast, the SHW podcast. This is Our Wrestling. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner and the beautiful Diana Michelle. The day after Thanksgiving, I've got my belt unbuckled here. I'm a little bloated. I've been eating all day yesterday. I've got all the leftovers today. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. We'll get into the Thanksgiving and what we're thankful for towards the end of the show. But we do have a big preview episode because next Friday, it's our final show of 2024, SHW69. Wow. But before we get into that, how was you guys' days yesterday? Everybody full? Get enough to eat?
Do I look sleepy? Because... What's that stuff in the turkey that just knocks you out?
Tryptophan, or is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. It's a drug. It's a bird drug, some kind of bird drug that just makes you sleepy. I'm kind of in a coma still.
Understandable.
That's funny. No, the for me, the stuff in the turkey is the stuffing. That's just for me.
Yeah.
And
you always have some crazy dish.
Jerk turkey.
Okay.
And the jerk juices get into the stuffing. And it is just, I mean, it has changed my life for Thanksgiving. It is incredible.
Sounds amazing.
One of these days I have to introduce you guys to it. It is just,
please.
Yes.
It's incredible. And it has changed my perspective on Thanksgiving turkey for life. So shout out to everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, indeed. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And now it's time to get into next week's card.
First of all, before we even get into that, I'm just blown away here that we're already into December, or by next week we'll be into December. This will be our final show of 2024. It's unreal. I mean, we say it all the time, like how quickly the shows go by and the year goes by. But, you know, we just celebrated our 6th anniversary, and now we're on our final show of 2024. It's been an insane year up to this point, and we're gonna end the year with a bang, as we always do. But let's get into it. Over the last couple of weeks, of course, we've announced, you've seen on social media, all the announcements of the upcoming matches. Another stacked card. Our matchmaker, if he's not Booker of the Year this year for 2024, then something's wrong, because Jake the Snake Roberts has gone above and beyond all year long putting these cards together, and he's done it yet again.
He has definitely been rolling with the punches with all the craziness that's been going on lately.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and of course, we did the recap show a couple of weeks ago, and so you know how the last show ended. One of the craziest, most shocking endings to a show. Hopefully, next week we'll get some answers. And actually, I'll just go ahead and start with that. I was going to start with one of the matches. Again, as I say this card, we don't know the match order yet. We do know the main event. It's going to be the Crazy Fans bring the weapons match. We'll save that for the end. It's going to be the Grapplers in the Hierarchy. But before I get into the matches, we did see an announcement earlier, either this week or last week, saying that we will be hearing from Gunnar Miller and Matt Griffin. You know, we've been saying for the last few weeks, you know, we always end up with more questions than answers. Are we going to get some answers? Apparently, we're going to hear from these guys. I don't know. I have no idea what could have been the reason that Gunnar would turn on Gary Lamb like that, but I'm just kind of dreading the fact that it's bad enough when Matt Griffin just shows up unannounced, but now that it's announced and we have to like lead into it and we're like having to prepare for like, okay, he is going to be there. I got to get mentally ready. It's like when like him or Exotic Youth, like when I know they're going to be there, it's just, it puts me in a different headspace. I have to like just really woosa. What are we thinking here? We're going to hear from these guys. Any idea what could be on their mind or what could have been the reason that Gunnar would side with a slime ball like Matt Griffin? What do you guys think?
Well, no.
You're right.
No idea. I mean, he did tweet something. It's not tweeting anymore. Is it Xing? What is it called? I don't even know.
Xing?
It's still tweeting.
Is it tweeting?
Posting?
Posting?
It says post instead of tweet. No, when you click it, post.
Whatever.
X,
oh, it's
whatever.
a post. Okay.
And you can still on the website find it at twitter.com.
Right?
Literally. So
let's be on the same page with that. Whatever. I don't hardly use it, and I probably should learn. But whatever. He did mention something, sort of a threat. Am I right?
To
towards
GB. Yeah, he told us
GB.
Oh,
on
yes.
the last
yes.
episode.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Like, first of all, how are we going to be on the same page if we don't even know what book you're reading?
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on? You completely flipped the script completely on Gary and Southern Honor, who's done nothing but welcome him every time he walks in the building. I mean, I don't even call him that anymore. He's not the people's captain anymore. He's just, should I be careful what I say? Because I don't know what he's,
Yeah.
listening
Well, that's
to.
the thing, because he'll clip this and then he'll
He
use
will.
it against
and then
us.
he'll
So we have
come
to be
after me.
we have to be careful.
But with Matt Griffin, Jesus, what is it that action is lacking that he has to be at Southern Honor all the freaking
That's an interesting. Interesting.
I mean, I hear a lot about action. I have not had the pleasure of going to an action show, but what is it that he has to be at Southern Honor all the time?
Well, here's what's even more interesting to me about that. What has he offered to Gunnar Miller that would make Gunnar Miller go, yeah, I'm in? Because as much as we focused on Gunnar Miller turning on Gary Lamb, by siding with, of all people, Matt Griffin, you've now turned on the company that welcomed you. You know, I don't recall, since Gunnar has been back in the wrestling business, him appearing at Action Wrestling. Is that something that's going to start for him, perhaps? I don't know. He's also not a man of many words. At least he hasn't been at Southern Honor. So I'll be interested to see if he's even going to say anything. Will Matt Griffin do the talking for him? And what on earth is the explanation? Here's somebody, and this is what people need to understand. When I shared that threat that I got last week from you guys, the reason why that hit so hard for all of you out there in SHW Faithful Land is this is a guy who has been very vocal about his support of us, his support of this podcast, his support of the job that we do. He has been very vocal and public about that. So for him to then turn around and now shoot his arrows in my direction is scary, because it's like, okay, is nothing sacred to you? I don't want to use any Chris Brown lingo, but I feel Chris Brown, and I'll just say these folks aren't loyal. I reserve the other word. But I mean, it's a loyalty issue at this point. How does somebody welcome you back into the industry when nobody wanted to touch you, give you opportunities at championships, you become the Southern Honor champion, you have been in war games, you've always been at the top of the card, and now all of a sudden, I mean, quite frankly, that night he was in the main event.
Yeah.
He was in the main event. So I don't understand it. Maybe there's something that we haven't seen, you know, because they are friends outside of the ring. We only get to see them once a month. Maybe some things happened, you know, over the last few weeks that we know nothing about that's been building. I don't know. But if you want me to be on the right side of history, and that's in air quotes for those who are listening, then you need to tell me what in the world is going on. Because right now, based on the information that I have, the right side of history is asking, what exactly are you doing, sir?
Right.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.
Shout out to Arsenio Hall. God, I miss you. Oh,
That was such a great show.
that was such an incredible show. Like,
I was
people
channeling
don't even-
CNC Music Factory as well there, but yeah.
Oh
Things that make you go,
gosh, that was, oh
things that
man.
make you go, mm.
Talk about things that need to be on somebody's streaming platform. Like, this is the perfect season for that. You know, just give me a marathon so y'all can understand how great the Arsenio Hall show was.
There you go.
Sorry. It's little things like that that just kind of, you know. There you go.
Well, GB, we have a gentleman who, although he has debuted in Southern Honor before, it was at the Rumblejack this past year, this past August, as a matter of fact, but he has not had a singles match in Southern Honor Wrestling. And the announcement was made at SHW68 that he would be appearing at SHW69 next Friday in singles action. We wondered who his opponent would be. We found out that was going to be the returning CB Suave. Of course, GB, I'm talking about I'll let you do the intro. Go ahead,
He
buddy.
is the captain of the Beaumaye Fight Club. He is the suplex assassin, the forever MLW champion. Alex Kane will finally be in a one-on-one contest in Southern Honor. And literally, the mood of Southern Honor is about to change. I mean, just think about the amazing talents that we've had come through Southern Honor over the years, and certainly this year. And I think once we get into a year in review kind of thing, I think one of the things that will come up is the fact of how many debuts we've had this year, how many new faces have shown up that have really changed the chemistry and complexion of what we're seeing at Southern Honor. Alex Kane at Southern Honor is a major grab. Here is a guy who ranked number 25 on this year's PWI 500, arguably the most respected list in pro wrestling, the highest rated independent wrestler of the year, Alex Kane. Now, we know a little bit about that because the last time that happened, that was a certain AC Mack,
Right.
who is, again, a Southern Honor original. So this is going to be a great moment. With all of those accolades, though, there's CB Suave, who we remember taking on earlier this year, the then Jake the Snake Legacy champion, of course, Chip Day, in a phenomenal match, like literally pushed Chip Day to the limit. So I have no doubt that CB Suave is going to be an intense competitor and opponent for Alex Kane, and he may make Alex Kane's debut very, very challenging. I can't wait to see this.
It's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
Again, it's a different dynamic too. You've got the powerhouse of Alex Kane and then, the versatile stuff that CB Suave does. I mean, I like the clash of the different types, and it's fun to watch. I think it's going to be fun. Just having him in the house is great. I mean, when he came out for the Rumble Jack, it was like, wait a minute.
The chill over the whole building.
Yeah, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that, but that was very cool. Very cool.
Well, and the thing is, during that Rumble Jack, and it happens every year at the Rumble Jack, you get to see different little, even though they're brief, but different little face-offs or square-offs in the ring. And there was a time where he had a face-off with Joe Black, our Southern Honor champion. He had a face-off at CT Keys at one point. Both of those times, and several instances where we went, oh man, there's a dream match. So who knows what will come of this down the road? But we do know that in his debut match, as you mentioned, we'll be taking on CB Suave. Now, CB Suave, of course, the Southern Honor fans from the early days will remember CB Suave. I believe it was the first ever Rumble Jack where he appeared multiple times. There were multiple incarnations. There was like the Nature Boy CB Suave. There was the Heartbreak Kid CB Suave. I think there was an Ultimate Warrior version. And so, there's the fun-loving, wacky, crazy side. I think he's done a lot of stuff at like Dragon Con for their wrestling organization, and he comes out as a different characters. But to your point, GB, you mentioned earlier this year against Chip Day, he can get serious. CB Suave, he's not just, out there messing around wearing the different cosplay. Like he can, when it's time to go, he can go. And he took Chip Day to the limit in that Jake the Snake Legacy match. When was that? Earlier this year, but it was
like February, I think. January, February, somewhere in there.
But so he can go, and he's a veteran, been around a long time. And this is going to be a very interesting and intriguing matchup. Can't wait for this debut, the singles debut for Alex Kane. It's going to be a good one. Well, let's talk about some tag team wrestling. We do know about the tag team championship match that will be taking place. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But another big tag team match that was announced, kind of spawning off of SHW68, some stuff that happened there. We're going to be seeing the up-and-comer Aaron Dallas actually teaming with the veteran Kyle Matthews, our Jake the Snake Legacy champion, and they're going to be taking on the in-game members, Nick Halen and CT Keys. If you'll recall at the last show, Nick Halen actually defeated Aaron Dallas, but Dallas put up a heck of a match against the veteran Nick Halen. But then it was after the match where the in-game would proceed to beat down Aaron Dallas. I think at one point he got locked in a sharpshooter and a crossface from I almost said Skeletor. I got to be careful here.
Ooh.
Todd Sexton. That's reserved for the
Ooh.
hierarchy. That's what they
It
call him.
is. It
Sorry about
is.
that. It almost slipped out. You didn't hear that. Let me censor that there. Anyways, Todd Sexton, Nick Halen, and then of course CT Keys enters the fray, and luckily Kyle Matthews was there to make the save and run off the end game. Then after Kyle successfully defended his Jake the Snake Legacy Championship, of course you'll remember it was kind of like Nick Halen getting involved, but distracting the referee when it looked like CT might actually have the pin, and we almost had a new JTS Legacy champion. There's a little heat still there. There was beef there from back since Still Here 6 between Halen and CT Key. And so just when we think they're back on the same page, now we're wondering, is there still something going on there? Todd Sexton would make you think, oh, they're fine. We'll talk about it in the back. It'll be fine.
But they didn't leave together, so.
Well, then Kyle Matthews starts to get beat down by the end game. Luckily, Aaron Dallas returns a favor, makes the save. And then, you would see CT and Nick Halen arguing and shoving all the way to the back again. So the big question on everybody's mind with this tag team matchup, can the end game coexist? Will they be able to work together in this tag team matchup? You got two guys that have never teamed together. You know, like I said, the young up-and-comer, Ron, and the legendary Jake the Snake Legacy champion who's been around for 20-plus years, Kyle Matthews, teaming together. Talk about a dream team right there. I think that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see how they work together. Now that this match has been announced enough in advance, hopefully they've had some time to get together and kind of go over a game plan here, because I think they can give the end game a run for their money, especially with Nick Halen and CT Keys seemingly not on the same page right now. So what do you guys think about this very intriguing tag team matchup?
Ron, I don't know exactly how long he's been wrestling.
3 years.
3 years?
Well, we called him at the Nightmare Factory when he came through there. So, it was about 3 years ago.
So to be teaming with a veteran like Kyle Matthews, who is also a former SHW tag team champion with Chip Day.
2 times.
2 times. I mean, what other teammate would you want, really? I mean, that's going to be the whole thing. And the fact that he can hang with a veteran like Nick Halen, but then perform. I got things. I got visions and things going on in my head, but
Are you about to make Aaron Dallas another bad boy?
Not a bad boy.
I was going to say, does she have a good boy list she's starting up? What's going on here?
Not a bad boy, but just the fact that I can see him and Kyle doing things and doing well, and it's like Jesus, Lord have mercy. It is a thing for me. I can't get it out, but it's in here. It's in here.
Okay.
Told you I'm having some issues. I'm struggling.
It's all that turkey. It was all that turkey.
I see it. I see it though. I see them doing well, even if they don't. If they decide to make a team out of this for good, great. But I do think this is going to be a good match. CT Keys, Nick Halen. There's too much going on. I don't think they're together. I don't think CT's happy at all with Nick Halen's presence even. I don't think this is going to be a thing. There's only so much you can do to tell 2 bullheaded men to get along. And Todd Sexton is not the one to do that. I just don't think it's going to happen. So there you go. My bumbled up stuff. That's how I feel. I told you I'm not all here right now.
It was all that turkey.
I can see it. I just can't get it out, but I can see it. You know what I'm saying because you know me.
Well, I'll say this, that you cannot keep bringing these combustible elements together and not expect an explosion. Like, how many times are you going to shake up the soda and keep the soda cap on and expect it not to explode? At some point, the cap won't be enough. And I am nervous. I'm nervous because we saw what happened again going back to SHW69 during that 6-pack challenge when, CT Keys kind of realized, wait a minute, Nick Halen, you are selling me out to get the shot at the championship, and then you want my help? No. Then when they finally had their match at Still Here 6, they went hard. I mean, like brutal,
Man.
you know? And then we get to what happened just a couple of weeks ago, where Nick Halen inadvertently cost CT Keys the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship. You think CT Keys is going to forget that? You think somehow I can't figure out what in the world Todd Sexton can offer these two to keep them together. Because here's the other thing that we haven't talked about. The one thing that I think kept the end game together, period, was the SHW championship. Having the SHW championship in their fold gave them one common goal. And that common goal was to keep the power, to keep the glory, to keep this whole situation here so that the end game can still run roughshod over SHW. Not only is the SHW championship gone, but we've not heard hide nor hair from Judas, who could likely be another one of those forces that help keep these guys together. So no SHW championship, no Judas, just these two guys who are at odds because of gold, whether it's the SHW championship or the Jake the Snake Legacy championship. I just hope that there's enough security around and that they have reinforced not the ring, but the walls. Because something tells me these guys could end up fighting all over the action building before the night is done.
It's going to be interesting. It's very intriguing. I cannot wait to see this tag team matchup. And yeah, the end game. I mean, they were so dominant for so long. And after Joe Black won that Southern Honor Championship, it's just been kind of like, what is going on here? So very interesting matchup. Another one I'm excited about, a singles match that was announced. It actually, again, came off the heels of the last show. Earlier in the night at SHW68, we see a mysterious video package from Grayson Pierce talking about how he's going to try to, bet on himself and go out there and try, almost like he's trying to impress Alexander Lev. And you really wondered what that meant. And we thought maybe he might show up in Lev and Warden's match later in the night. Well, he did show up, but it wasn't after that match or during that match. We saw a singles match between the working team captain Owen Knight and the superstar Jay Lucas. And it was a great one-on-one matchup. But it was what happened afterwards that got everybody talking. And it was a sneak attack through the crowd from Grayson Pierce, attacking both Owen Knight and Jay Lucas, and delivering that vicious stomp off the ropes to the back of the head of Jay Lucas. Well, our very own Cheyenne Michaels caught up with Lucas and Owen Knight backstage after the show. It actually started as an interview with Owen Knight, talking about how he wanted to get his hands on Grayson Pierce. Well, he was interrupted by Jay Lucas and said, no. I get first dibs. I'm the one that took that massive stomp to the back of the head. So I'm calling out Grayson Pierce. And of course, Jake the Snake's going to make that happen. So we're going to see Jay Lucas versus Grayson Pierce. But then Owen Knight, the working team, also said, all right, well, I'm going to be at ringside to watch this match up close and personal. So a lot of combustible elements here in this matchup, and I cannot wait to see these guys. You've heard Sal Renaro say it during Fight for the Children, and then again at the last show, talking about what a talent Grayson Pierce is. And now that he kind of separated himself, well, seemingly, it seems like he's trying to get back in the good graces of Alexander Lev. But since he's been on his own, it's like, and he's able to show up and show out. But again, he's facing the superstar Jay Lucas, who's an incredible talent, as we saw at the last show. So this has the makings for a very interesting one-on-one matchup. What do you guys think?
I think this is very evenly matched.
Okay.
I think they are pretty evenly matched. Grayson's really good by himself. Jay Lucas is really good by himself. I just see it being pretty even, other than Lucas being really pissed about that nasty stomp. It was a nasty stomp. I didn't like it, but it fuel to the fire. Owen, on the other hand, I'm just glad he's back. I'm just glad he's back doing something with Southern Honor. I have missed him, and maybe he'll be on commentary with you guys during this match. I don't know. That would be cool. I'd like to hear what he's got to say about the whole situation.
Before you get into it, GB, let me just say, has it only been the one time Owen joined us on commentary where he was like
Yes.
dead silent the whole time? It was very weird.
Yes.
But that was an old Owen night. That was a couple of
Mhm.
years back. But I was
Yeah,
just trying to think, has he ever been on commentary with us? And that was
Yes.
one time that I could think of, and it wasn't much commentary really. It was just he
Well,
just sat
Owen
there
was
with
in the
us.
holiday spirit. He believed in a silent night. So,
Yeah, right.
that's where he was in that moment.
KNIGHT. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I'm loving this matchup because it's really two of the young guns. We
Mhm.
talked before again about new faces making their way into Southern Honor. And it's just amazing to watch how things are going. You look at Grayson Pierce, who, it was earlier this year he was debuting in Southern Honor and then found his way through a tag team match to become faithful, seemingly found himself, lost himself. And hey, I'm a guy who believes in betting on you. And so I'm for him for that. I think you need to do that, whatever that looks like. The question now is he trying to impress Lev or is he trying to really stand on his own? In
Mhm.
either scenario, a win against Jay Lucas would accomplish perhaps both of those opportunities. The flip side is Jay Lucas feels as though his match opportunity may have been, ruined or overshadowed by what happened at the end of that confrontation. So I think this is two guys who have a lot to prove. They are young guns. They want to have momentum going into 2025, which could be a monster year for both of them. And a lot could be riding on what happens in this match next Friday night.
Agreed.
We touched on Alexander Lev there just a second ago, and the other thing about Lev right now is that if you look back on the last few months, on a bit of a losing streak, he lost the ability to say that he's faithful. He lost his faithful, and he's been lost seemingly over the last few months. And that losing streak's not helping. We found out that Grayson Pierce hadn't been able to get a hold of him. He's been trying to reach out. He's received a couple of different messages from David Ali about calling himself, what was he calling himself, the Messiah, right? And so
Mhm.
David Ali was giving him some grief about that. So everybody's kind of wondering what's next for Lev. Where does Lev go from here? It was announced that Lev will be in the building for SHW69 next Friday. So I don't know if we'll hear from him. Of course, every time we see him, he's got to grab a mic. He's got to let everybody know his name, as if we don't know it by now. But we'll see. I don't know what that means. Are you expecting any kind of big announcement? Like, what do we think here with Lev being in the building? I don't really know what to expect, you guys.
Is Warden going to be there? Do we know that?
Don't know.
Who knows? I mean, I think the first announcement he came out, he was like, I'm supposed to be in the Rumble Jack. I need to be in the Rumble Jack. Like, who are you, kid? Who are you? Now
Can we
it's
just say though, what a year since
Yeah.
that time,
Yeah.
the full because that was the 2023 Rumblejack, if I'm not
Yes, it
mistaken,
was.
right? And so
Yes, it
in
was.
that time, 1 year span, the metamorphosis of what we saw Alexander Lev become
Mhm.
has really been something else. I mean, it's quite the spectacle, quite impressive to be honest. Whether you like him or not. I mean,
To be the doormat to get in and out of the ring for the first Rumble Jack that he was a part of, technically, to actually be in the Rumble Jack for the next one, that is pretty good. I mean, it is. I don't know what his plans are now. He's lost, but I have no idea. I have no clue what to even expect this guy. He could call out whoever. He could. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, it's like he's not. Sal's crazy. You never know what to think about Sal. Lev is just like closet crazy. You still don't know, but you don't expect it either. I don't know. I expect Sal to be crazy. I don't really know what to expect from Lev.
Did you call it closet crazy?
Closet crazy.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
or just cerebral. I don't, you know what I mean? Like just
Maybe he's
I
really
don't know.
smart and he's very strategic. I don't know.
Well, he's certainly influential. Think about it. I mean, he's a guy who went from barely entering the Rumble Jack to being able to assemble multiple people
Mhm.
from all over the place, whether it was the Warden or Grayson Pierce, or even at Still Here, he found another follower to
Right.
come in. Like he finds people and finds a way to influence them. That makes him dangerous. And the fact that we can't figure out what he's going to do next makes him even more dangerous. Think about it. He and the Warden have now had 2 opportunities at the tag team championships. They came rather close at our last show. And so who knows what he could be up to? Maybe he's reorganizing what was once known as the Faithful into something else. Maybe there are more lost siblings out there. Who knows? We'll find out. But whatever he does, it's dangerous. You remember November last year at that show is where, he was talking about being faithful and all the things and started this war with Cody Fluffman that went on for the better part of the last year. So who knows what he could be up to leading into 2025. He's the Rookie of the Year for a reason, and we'll find out more next week.
So earlier, let's see, or maybe it was last week. It all runs together. I can't keep track. I think it might have been last week. Gerard and I had a chance to get to draw some names for a big triple threat match, which will be a #1 contenders match for Joe Black's Southern Honor Championship. Now, our matchmaker, Jake the Snake, it's a season of giving. He's decided to give this gift to 3 lucky competitors, okay? And we got to go to the SHW randomizer and run. You had to have been on an SHW card in the year 2024. So all the people in 2024 were eligible. And we hit the randomizer, came up with 3 random names. Turns out it was Rob Killjoy, Hollywood Hunter James, and Any Style Adam Priest. Okay, now they're going to have this triple threat match next Friday, and the winner of that match will be the new #1 contender and will face Joe Black at our very first show of 2025, SHW 70 Year of Honor. And man, oh man, we got lucky with these 3, man, because this is going to be one heck of a triple threat match. The Ugly Duckling, the Hollywood Hunter James, and then Any Style Adam Priest. It's going to be, it's going to be something else. And I don't know if you guys have any favorites in this one. It's hard to really pick. All these guys, super talented, all have the pedigree to get to that next level and to get to that championship matchup. But we'll see. And they've had about a week, just over a week, that they've known that they're going to be in this matchup. So they've got a little time to prepare. And we'll see what happens, man. But I'm excited now that we know that we're going to have a #1 contenders match, a triple threat match at that. It's going to be awesome. What do you guys think?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good match. I'm interested to see who's going to, they always have a double team. Who's going to decide to team up on the other. But, I cannot cheer for Adam Priest. He's so good, but I can't. He gets on my nerves so bad. And, Hollywood Hunter James is so disrespectful. It's just ridiculous. I mean, do you have to be that way? Come on. My dude is Rob Killjoy. My dude is Rob Killjoy. You got the duck, the cluck, and the schmuck.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. All right.
So I'm going with the duck. Quack, quack.
I like that. I'm glad you've been working on that since last time we talked about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going to go with
I had
it.
to fix it.
I didn't either. I just kind of sat like, okay.
I had my finger on the censor button.
Right. Like, oh boy.
Yeah. Quack, quack, quack.
Well, here's the crazy part. You put any one of them across some Joe Black, and it's going to be a banger.
I was thinking the same thing.
A full-on, you take Rob Killjoy. You got a guy with almost 20 years experience against a Joe Black. They're going to crush it. You take a Hunter James, who has really been kind of that young prodigy. His reign as the Jake the Snake Legacy champion just really showcased how great he is. He was once the male performer of the year here in the state of Georgia. Tons of accolades, and a guy who's ready to step up to that next level, ready to be tested by Joe Black. And then there's Adam Priest. Adam Priest, and I'm sure somebody's going to clip this, has been one of my favorites for years. What he can do inside of a ring, it just doesn't make sense. How one guy can be that good and can adjust to literally any style at any time. Him and Joe Black, take my money. Okay. So I think we as the fans are going to be the winners in this whole scenario because whoever wins is going to make a worthy opponent for Joe Black. How we get there is what's going to make this fun. So I can't wait. And, just selfishly, I've always wanted to be in the scenario where you kind of either go in and pick the name for the Rumble or whatever, or get to be a part of a randomizer. So to be able to do that was really, really awesome. And just the sheer fun of seeing those three names come up as the names, unreal. I'm telling you guys, this match alone is worth the price of admission. You need to be there. If you call yourself a fan of pro wrestling, this is the match for you.
I agree. It's going to be good. I mean, all three of those guys are amazing. They are. I just can't stand two of them.
Well, I said it to you the other night, GB, as we were making the selections. I can't stand who Adam Priest associates himself with.
And that's why.
But
that's why
I absolutely love seeing Adam Priest in a Southern Honor ring doing what he does best. And we've said it ever since he appeared in Southern Honor for the first time, however long ago that was, a couple years back, whenever it was. Every time we saw him was like, I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back. Then he started coming back with Matt Griffin, and I was like, no, not this guy. But I do appreciate having Adam Priest in the building and in the ring.
He just needs to stop picking
Honor.
up the riffraff on the side of the road and taking them.
Well, there's that. And then again, it's Hollywood Hunter James, like him or not. He was a very solid Jake the Snake Legacy champion while he held the title, whether you liked his tactics or not.
Right.
We've said for the longest time since he debuted that he's got all the pedigree in the world to be one of the next big things in the business. And then Rob Killjoy, the veteran, he's put on big match after big match. You even mentioned it the other night. He had that awesome match against Darian Bankson where he did the double springboard from the top rope with the massive leg drop. Woo! Man, oh man. And so, no telling what these guys are going to put each other through in this triple threat match. And add on top of that it's for a shot at the Southern Honor Championship. It's going to be unbelievable. Like GB said, you cannot miss this. And this is on top of another stacked card already. And, it's going to be awesome. So, but we got more matches to go. So let's get on down the card here. I talked about a cool tag team matchup that's happening earlier in the show. Well, let's talk about the Southern Honor Tag Team Championship match that will be taking place, if you'll recall, at SHW68. After the tag title match there, Carly Bravo had some interesting things to say on the mic to the live crowd. He would then go backstage and do a backstage interview with Cheyenne and reiterate the sentiment. And basically what he was saying was, we don't need no number one contenders for the SHW tag titles. We're just going to put out an open challenge. Anybody wants a shot, step up. We will give you a shot. The Infantry putting out an open challenge for the Southern Honor Tag Team titles. And the very first team to step up, no strangers to Southern Honor, although it's been a little while since we've seen them, but the Northside Heroes will be showing up next Friday for an opportunity against the Infantry for the SHW Tag Team Championships. This one is going to be good.
It is.
Can't wait.
Like, come one, come all for your chance at the Southern Honor Tag Team Championships. That's amazing. It's boisterous. It's boisterous. It's exciting. It's like very confident, which they should be because that's the Infantry. Salute. Northside Heroes are very, very good. They've gotten better and better and better. I think this is going to be a good one, good matchup as far as ability and the tag team, the way they click together, the way the Northside Heroes click together, the way the Infantry click together, and then them coming together to clash is going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, this is going to be special. The bravery of the Infantry, just going back to the Rumble Jack when Carly Bravo won, and how brave it was of him to not go the path of every other winner of the Rumble Jack. And since he had the opportunity to challenge for any championship, he chose the tag team championship. Then he had a tough spot because it was a triple threat match. So it wasn't even a one-on-one, Infantry versus the Grapplers. 3 teams, and out comes the infantry as your new tag team champions. They've already had multiple tag team title defenses, and they say, listen, you don't have to go through all of this red tape. Step up and you get your shot. You know, it seems to me that there's a lot of prophets on the street that simply say, we want the smoke. The infantry clearly wants the smoke, and in so doing, they've now gotten a team who doesn't frequent Southern Honor, but everywhere else they've been champions. And those are the Northside Heroes, which, interestingly enough to me, they are the current reigning Georgia Wrestling History Tag Team of the Year. So what happens when you take the Tag Team of the Year and place them against the Tag Team Champions? Instant classic loading. I'm telling you guys, you need to be here, because if there is any team that could take those tag team titles, it's the Northside Heroes. We have seen when other teams from other companies who have held titles there show up here, they become champions. Look at Happy Madness. Look at the Hierarchy. Look at who was the last team that did it? The Grapplers, right? Those are the last three sets of tag team champions all held titles in other companies. So this gives a great opportunity for the Northside Heroes to perhaps become the fourth team to do that in recent memory. Can they do that at the expense of the infantry, who has their own set of a busy schedule, you know, traveling with AEW, traveling with Ring of Honor, how tough it must be to meet all of those commitments, but they're willing to do it to prove that they are the best tag team in the sport. It's going to be an instant classic next Friday in the Action Building.
Oh, I can't wait. And the infantry as well coming in to get those the SHW titles with the Nightmare Factory tag titles as well. So so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'd be the fifth if the Northside Heroes can go with this one. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting though. But you know, Carly, Sean, they talk the big talk, but they can back it up. Okay. And so, like you said, I think a lot of people are a little shocked, like, oh, they got to be careful here, just letting anybody through the door to come after their titles. They can back it up though. So we'll see.
They face some of the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've wanted to prove, this is the other thing, they've wanted to prove that they're the best tag team. Right. And they haven't had the opportunity to do that in other spaces. So when you get the gold, you make the rules. And so now you can hold the open challenge that says, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you are, come up, step up, and we'll show you why we are the best. I love that attitude. And it's going to be quite the match next Friday.
We've seen them go toe-to-toe with FTR. We've seen them go
almost
win the ROH tag titles, only to lose due to underhanded tactics. But
we saw them defeat House of Black.
Yes. I mean, oh, man. These guys, they've only gotten better. And I love the fact that they are SHW originals. It's so cool to see them go out and do such big things and then still come home and compete at the Rumble Jack, win the tag titles, be at every show now to defend those tag titles. It's so cool. So cool. I can't wait to see this matchup. It's going to be awesome.
Do you remember not too long ago that we were saying that our tag division is struggling? Like, where are the tag teams? Where are the competitors? Where's the competition to the titles? Are the titles, do they mean anything? Now we've got people coming from all over because that's what Carly wanted to do. He wanted to bring attention to Southern Honor.
And to the tag division.
And that's amazing. Thank you, Carly. Thank you.
Man, oh man, Carly Bravo. And doing big things on his own as well outside of SHW.
Giving back,
keep up on social media, folks. You'll know what we're talking about.
Oh, yes.
But so let's move on down the card here. As if that wasn't enough. Let's talk about our big main event. Again, I told you, I don't know what the rest of the card, what order everything's going to go in, but I do know what the main event will be. It will be Fans Bring the Weapons. I think this is our second time ever in SHW doing this. It's been a number of years since we've done it in the past, but it will be the Grapplers taking on the Hierarchy, two teams that have been at each other's throats for the better part of this past year, I guess. And it's just been, they can't seem to resolve this issue between these two teams, these two factions. And I know it'll be Murder One, Joe Black, our Southern Honor champion, and the Kenway against Xander Seabolt, and then I
50,
guess
87, and
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I know Seabolt will be in there, but as far as grapplers 1 and 2 or 22
3
and 27, I don't know. But there should just be
maybe they go through that whole draw a name
the
type thing.
randomizer, the grappler
Wait,
randomizer.
is that what they've been? They've been at the headquarters going through the randomizer to
Maybe
decide
that's
who's
I
going to
think
be.
they have their own headquarters, and it's probably a bit less sophisticated, you know. Like they probably just have a bunch
Draw
of numbers in
out
a
of
hat. They have
Yeah.
numbers in a hat, and they just number 63.
Or
It's
bingo
something like
ball.
bingo.
Bingo balls. Yeah.
The way that we're all thinking alike is scaring me right now. It's scaring me.
G42,
Right.
R53,
Right.
and who knows?
That's it. It's ING. That's who ends up showing up. Ing.
Right.
There you go.
That's who
there you
shows
go.
up. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's going to be 3-on-3. It's supposed to be 3-on-3. However, in this kind of a matchup, it's no disqualification. There really are no rules. So who knows who all is going to show up for the grapplers? I mean, we've seen chainmail, we've seen multiple grapplers in masks, along with Seabolt. I don't know, folks. I know it's going to be insane. GB, you gave a few suggestions as far as what kind of weapons people could perhaps bring. Let's not get too insane. Let's try. We don't want any arrests or anything. But
let's be clear: it's fans bring the weapons match. It is not a death match.
Yeah.
Okay, not a death match.
We're not seeing blood and guts.
Yeah. You know, let's keep sharp objects at home. And, objects that you might use if you were hunting venison, keep that at home.
I believe they may be checking the weapons at the door as you come in.
They probably
or collecting.
Which will be very smart because you know how creative some people can be. But speaking of creativity in the holiday season, if there's some sort of nice barbed wire candy cane that you want to bring, like that can work. Or, some sort of Santa infused baseball bat. I don't know.
I was thinking like a frying pan, and you get
that can work too.
Festive.
You know what I mean? Just
it is holiday season, Diana. Come on.
I know.
I mean, hey, bring some eggnog, right? Like all kinds of things.
Just don't throw it because Faye will have you in a scrap.
Please don't. And if don't throw anything because with this being a no DQ match, they may come after you. So be careful with that. But
real quick, on that note, and I'll let you get back to it. But I just want to remind everybody, we talked about this already on the recap episode. At the end of the last show, I get everybody was upset. I get it was a shocking turn of events, but we always have to put this out there. Like, please. Don't throw trash. Don't throw stuff into the ring. I know it got out of hand at the last show, but you got to remember the safety of the wrestlers and the safety of us. We're inside the guardrails as well.
Thank you.
And so please don't throw stuff into the ring. I know it got out of hand at the last show, but we were all upset. We were all dealing with our emotions. But just please, moving forward, let's do our best to reel it in, and no throwing garbage or anything else for that matter into the ring. Sorry, go ahead, GP.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. I mean, and for the safety of each other, because, none of us are guaranteed throws. So you might overshoot and hit somebody on the other side of the building. And that just would not be cool. But yeah, be safe with your weapons. Have fun. And I'm intrigued to see which weapons will be chosen, to be a part of this match. It's your one opportunity. It's about as close as you're going to get some revenge on the grapplers. So this ought to be quite the match. And remember, at our last show, Murder One enlisted all of you as now members of the hierarchy. So come with your two-fingered salutes, your very creative and useful weapons. And we'll see if all of you can outnumber all of the grapplers in this contest at SHW69.
What if the fans are like, half of them are blue and half of them are black and yellow, and they're just like,
it could happen.
Like a sea of.
Yeah, we talked about how influential Lev is.
It's so
I don't know who the leader of the grapplers are, but they got some influence somewhere because they managed to keep adding grapplers.
Yeah.
And so they might have some station throughout the building, some station in the crowd. I don't know. Geez.
Could be
Yeah.
scary.
No
We've
telling.
seen them run through the crowd before, so
Yes,
you
we
know,
have.
who knows?
No telling. Well, that's going to be the icing on the cake on an already stacked card, as we mentioned, SHW69 next
Did you say
Friday.
cake?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that Tuesday was actually National Cake Day?
Oh,
I didn't make
really?
that up. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Tuesday was really National Cake Day. It's a perfect week for it to be National Cake Day. So you might have celebrated yesterday, but it was two random facts that I know.
I might celebrate next Friday. Bring
You
some
should
community.
celebrate.
I'll bring some
Hey,
community cakes. Why
Community
not?
cakes
we
and
know how you
Hennessy.
love the community cakes.
I'm just saying. But don't
Is
throw
that
them
going to
in
be
the
your
ring.
weapon?
Yeah, don't throw them in the ring. I'm just gonna eat it. Like, just don't be throwing them. Like, if you're
He's
gonna
gonna
take
leave
one,
the icing and throw the cake.
Oh gosh.
I was just gonna say, if you're gonna take one, eat one. Like, don't waste them. Come
Don't
on now.
waste them.
Yeah.
Spoken as a true foodie.
And if
I
you're
get
not
it.
gonna
Right.
eat it, don't take
Give-
it because
give
I'll
it
eat
back.
Ah,
it. Come on,
yes.
people.
A true
Ah,
foodie. Yes.
All right. Well, now I got to think about I would get some Christmas cupcakes. Christmas
Ah.
community cupcakes. How about that?
Ah.
Infused with Hennessy.
It always takes a turn.
That's the celebration. That's for later.
That
If the
is the
hierarchy are able to successfully
Right,
defeat
right.
the grapplers, then we'll celebrate with Hennessy community cakes. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
I guess so.
I see.
All right, murder, holler
I
at me. We'll see
see.
what we can come up with. It's gonna be insane, guys. A huge stack card, SHW69. As we said, final show of 2024. It's gonna be huge. I cannot wait. Jake the Snake has done it again. He's outdone himself once again as our matchmaker, and this is gonna be awesome. Every December show has been one for the ages. I mean, we
Mhm.
always like to end the year on a huge high note, and this looks to be no different. Okay, so don't miss it. Call all your friends, call all your family next Friday. Meet us at the Action Building, 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia. Tickets go on sale at the door starting at 5 p.m. Ticket prices start at $15. Kids, of course, 10 and under, as always, are free. Doors open at 7, bell time at 8. Of course, you can join us right back here. We'll be live on Facebook for the official SHW69 pre-show from 7 to 7:30. And, well, before we go, Thanksgiving was just yesterday.
Yes.
Was.
And I just want to say to you guys, to my favorite people in this entire world,
Absolutely.
GB and Diana, V3,
V3.
I am so thankful for you guys. I'm so thankful that you guys came in. This will be your 5th anniversary from coming into Southern Honor.
Funny
And,
story.
yeah, go
it's
ahead.
Here we go.
actually to the day.
To the
Oh,
day.
wow.
Is
There
it?
you go.
Yeah,
It is to the
December
day.
6th.
December 6th
That
was
is
the
right.
5-year anniversary of when we walked through the doors of SHW
How
in
about
our current role. So
I
it's
love
going to
it.
be very special. So if y'all are bringing gifts and the like, it's our anniversary.
Hey.
There you go.
Well, they will not be turned away, especially if they're community cakes. I'm just saying.
Well,
But
there you go.
I might be bringing those for you guys. That's what I'll bring them for, to celebrate you guys. But anyways, I just want to put it out there. So thankful for you guys, and I couldn't imagine doing this with with any other two people. And we've been having a blast for the last 5 years, and the future is bright, and I can't wait to see where it all goes, because we're just getting started. You know, I know that's a Gary Lamb line, but I feel like that's true for us. Like, we're just getting started.
Yeah.
And while I'm talking about being thankful, I'm also thankful for the fans, because honestly, if it weren't for you guys, what are we even doing? There'd be no reason to be doing what we're doing if there weren't any fans. And so we are thankful for you guys, thankful for all of your support. And I just can't wait to see all you guys next Friday, and we can celebrate the final show of 2024.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm thankful for you guys too. You're like my brothers. And I'm thankful for Southern Honor, because Southern Honor brought us together. And I don't know
Yeah.
that I've ever met and been able to work with such high class commentators
Wow.
as you guys are. The best I've ever seen. I love you guys so much. And of course, the fans and all that goes into it, and the veterans of the business, because thank
Yeah.
you for keeping it going. Because
Mhm.
I love what I do, but I wouldn't have it if you hadn't done what you did. So thank you. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you had a good one.
Absolutely. I love it. Gratitude is such an important part of our lives. And too often we wait until the fourth Thursday of November. And that's where we are thankful, and it's often because we need prompting, but I really want to live the kind of life that is filled with gratitude, being thankful for just so many amazing things. And so I too am thankful for V3. I had no idea December 6, 2019, when I walked to the doors of that show, planning to just sit in the front row, how my life would literally change. And there's so much that would not be a part of my life right now if not for you guys welcoming me to be a part of the team. So thank you, Brandon. Thank you for your glowing recommendation that night. Diana, thank you for welcoming me as well. And what we have formed has been something so organic. In the wrestling world, people come together to be this team, and then they go away and do other things, and they come back, and that's when they're trying to be a team. But we are literally an organic team that is formed, and we care about each other's success, each other's well-being, each other's health. You guys out there who get to see us on First Friday and every Friday on this podcast are kind of only seeing the overflow of who we really are.
Right.
We literally talk every day about any and everything. And it's a real honor when your work family becomes your real family.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really grateful for you two. I am grateful for the entire Southern Honor family for giving us the opportunity to do what we do. To all of the fans, what we do in the wrestling world is often overlooked by fans. Most fans are more concerned about the in-ring competitors as opposed to the ring announcers, the commentators, the people who kind of tell the stories. But thank you guys for paying attention to what we do, for the kind words that you send to us on the socials and everywhere else. And I'm just so grateful for the sport of pro wrestling, what it has afforded us, the opportunities it has given us to travel varying places and to do things that we could have only dreamt of, and to meet people that we would have never, ever imagined we'd get to talk to on a regular basis. So I'm just super grateful. I'm super thankful. And I cannot wait until next week to celebrate our anniversary with you guys. We've had the SHW anniversary. It's our anniversary, the last show of the year. All of the things. So, and while I'm here, it is Black Friday. And so you can actually get some merch from this podcast on Black Friday for 20% off. Just go to prowrestlingtees.com/SHW pod. You can find all of our merchandise there. I know Diana's got some merchandise there as well. It's prowrestlingtees.com/Diana Michelle. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can find that there. You can find my merch at prowrestlingtees.com/Bonafide. Everything there is 20% off. So take advantage of your Black Friday. Get yourself some shirts, rock them, wear them. If we see them, we'll take pictures with you. We'll sign. We'll do like whatever.
Get a shout out from the ring. I know there's one guy who's been wearing my stuff, and I'm just like, hey, you. And it's just, I love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
We love it. So thank you guys. Thank you.
They make great stocking stuffers.
They
do. And it's going to come just in time for the holidays. So
there you go.
Go ahead,
man, I cannot wait. This is going to be an awesome show. Again, final show of 2024. You're not going to want to miss it. Once again, 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia, the Action Building, next Friday, December 6th, SHW69. It's going to be incredible. One for the books, for sure. And we cannot wait to see you there. Join us live on the pre-show next Friday night right here online, 7 to 7:30. And then join us in the building for SHW69. It's going to be incredible. But until we see you there, this right here, this has been
SHW.
And this is our wrestling.
Show is.